At first, you choose a partner based on appearance and enjoy it until you realize that your children will be raised not based on appearance, but based on values. No amount of success can compensate for failure at home. If people took back the pain they caused you, you'd lose the strength you gained. The average of 5 is real. If you really want to know someone, look at the 5 people they talk to the most and spend the most time with. Your friends' problems become your problems. The smaller your social circle, the fewer problems you have. Once you realize your value, you will be greatly surprised at what you used to settle for. When you laugh, people laugh with you, and when you cry alone. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is a part of getting over. The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Overtrusting, betrayal, masturbation, loss of energy, stress, hair loss, overthinking, depression, saying no, important, revenge, ruining your own life, observing, increase in wisdom, forgiving, healing, letting go, peace of mind. You can always earn money. It's not a big deal. Your world is not going to end because you don't have a fixed income. Something else will work out. Every person has 3 faces. Firstly, the one we show to the world and strangers. Secondly, the one we show to family, spouses, and close friends. And thirdly, the one we show only to ourselves. Not everything in this world should be your problem. Some things are simply none of your business. Focus on the issues that affect you directly. You will be much happier that way. Rejection is important for self-development. No one has the answer. You're going to spend a lot of time figuring things out. Most people stay in the same place for a reason. The things they hold dear are the anchors that hold them in place. Stop trying to make everyone love you. You need enemies to succeed. Sometimes, when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but actually, you've been planted. The person who cares less has the most power in a relationship. Never sacrifice your progress for a friend. They might not do the same if the tables were turned. The world doesn't care about your potential. It cares about what you've done. You spend all your health initially for wealth, and then you spend all your wealth for one day of good health. Never compare your life with others. They may seem better than you, but they have some problems which are never ever heard by you. And crying won't fetch you results. You are right about all the things you think you need to do. Don't wait. Get started. If something bothers you, change it. If it is beyond your control, learn to live with it. Accept it. Change yourself. That is the only thing you can influence. When you get up in the morning, remember what you promised yourself at night. You spend your first 20 years worrying about what people think about you. You spend your next 20 years swearing that you don't care what people think about you. You spend the next 20 years realizing that they aren't thinking about you. To have what you never had, you have to do what you never did. People will say almost anything when they're happy. Be wise and careful of this one. The world will not treat you better just because you're a good person. Chasing the opposite sex and having temporary relationships, which means nothing but sex, is pointless. What people say when they are angry aren't things they mean. They regret it often. Forgive angry people. It's okay. They are only human. The more people let you down, the easier you'll get back up and realize that life doesn't stop for anyone. You can't litter negativity everywhere and wonder why you have a trashy life. Not everyone will make it to your future. Some people are passing through to teach you life lessons. If you waste money, you can earn it again. If you miss the moment, it can never be returned. Life isn't fair, and sometimes good deeds aren't rewarded, and bad deeds aren't punished. Things work out when you least expect them. Life has a funny way of surprising us when we're not looking for it. The ego is not a bad thing, and sometimes we need it in order to achieve our aims and feel vitality. However, the ego is just a tool. We shouldn't let it control us. There will always be someone who is better than you in something. You have to accept that fact and learn from them. That's something that will help you grow. Betrayal never comes from your enemies. The hardest part is at the beginning of the journey. The rocket loses 90% of its fuel during takeoff. A moment of patience in a moment of anger saves from 1,000 minutes of regret. Success is a loner's journey. You must learn to accept loss and make compromises. Putting off until tomorrow is your weakness. You can't always have a good day, but you can always face a bad day with a good attitude. Don't compare yourself to others because no one can play your role better than you. No work is beneath you. The only thing that should be beneath you is your big ego. Work hard in silence and show your skills at the job you get rather than criticizing the job. No matter how hard you work, you can't have everything you want. Eventually, most of us end up settling in some part of our life. Owning your truth can be hard, but not nearly as hard as spending your life running away from it. Many of the people you told your secret to have already told it to others. There is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. People only want to hear the good, not the bad. So, if you have issues, it'll be hard to find people to confide in. The walls you build to keep things out are also keeping things in. There are times when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. Watch out. You'll never know the true value of the moment until it becomes a memory. Never expect too high. The more you expect when it doesn't meet your expectation, the more it's gonna hurt. The only two people that will never let you down are your parents. Not your wife, not your husband, not your kids, nor your friends. You might regret your speech, but you'll never regret your silence. Learn to let go, even if you are right. Life is a boxing game. Defeat is not declared when you fall down. It is declared when you refuse to get up. It is indeed very hard to move on, but once you do, you will realize it was your best decision. Never make a promise you can't keep. Stop letting other people take advantage of you. Learn to say no and understand your rights. Saying no is important. People don't get offended as much as you think. Never awaken a woman's love with no intention of loving her. When talking to people, look them in the eye and on the face. This will make you more confident in front of others. Find something you love, something you can lean onto, something that would keep you going. You need something to fall back on when you get depressed. Nothing is complicated, not as much as you assume. It's just your mind playing tricks with you. If you get down to it, it's all really simple and clear. Time is your most valuable resource. There are no refunds or second chances for the time you waste. No one in this world will stand up for you like the way your parents do. Always be there for them. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Be impatient with actions, but patient with results. If you're not happy with yourself, you'll never be happy in a relationship. Being lonely and being alone are different things. Overthinking ruins you. It ruins the situation, twists things around, makes you worry about futile questions, and makes everything much worse than it actually is.